It's on the menu, YouTube, and Facebook. This week's conversation, sugar daddies and cougars. And here are your hosts, Sonny and Cher.
Oh, here we go, Jay Jizzy.
Here we go, Trey. Oh, chill.
We got a comedian as a producer, don't we? We will take care of her later, won't we? Yes, we will. We on the mic too often to be talking trash about us when you first get on, so don't forget, folks, no profanity. I just got something held up. No profanity. You got to lean into the microphones. Today's topic, Jay, what is today's topic?
Sugar daddies, and we could say sugar mamas, but we like to call them cougars, or
sugar
women with a
daddies?
little bit more experience.
Ooh, we got some women here shaking their head like, I'm proud to be a cougar.
That's right.
Yes, I is.
Like
I got to tell my own story first, Jay, about
sugar.
It was a little scary, Jay. I got to tell my story. So, and it came about. So I was 15. I was about 10, 11, 12 years old, Jay. Mm-hmm. I used to play basketball down at this local park. All right, local park. Playing ball. I got my little tight shorts on, 10, 11, 12 years old, and my striped sweat socks. Back in the day, we had the long socks up to the knees.
Yep.
And I made eye contact with this woman. All right, I made eye contact with her, and she must have had about 5, 6 years on me back then. And she looked at me, Jay, and she gave me the look like, 40 years from now, I'm going to track you down, and you going to be mine. Jay, you know who that woman was?
What? Who was it?
It was Gail. Oh, she was my cougar, Jay. I was scared half to death, Jay. I said, why is she looking at me like that? Oh, my God. She tracked me down 40 years later.
Got you.
Got me.
That's right.
Got me. So let's get started here, Jay. We're going to talk a little bit about our panelists and who's in the house. And please acknowledge when we say your name first on the panel. My man, Timothy Young. He's an educator and writer. What's up, Tim?
What up, man? How you doing, man?
Come into the mic, Tim. All right, brother. We have this young lady's been on the second time. She's family to me. Her name is Trevetta Poindexter, executive assistant to the South End Community Health Center.
Let's go.
How you doing? Nice to see everybody.
Come on, don't get all nervous now, Trevetta. Come on now. All right.
Yeah.
On the mic next is Kiana. She wants to be called Kiki. Kiki, do you love me? Are you right? Oh yeah, she's a substance abuse coordinator, and she is a self-proclaimed cougar.
That's right.
What? Hey, what's poppin', everybody?
Hey, man.
And next on the mic is Trina Hogan, and she's taking care of our young folks. She's an educator.
That's right.
What it do, boo?
Oh, hey man. Are you so sitting down a cougar?
Hey, man.
Oh my goodness.
That's right.
Also, we have Frank Finley, entrepreneur and influencer.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
All right. Sakia Hunter, she's also influencing our young population. She's an educator.
What's going on, y'all?
Thank you for saying hello. Oh, we have some, this is a repeat performer. His name is Tommy Howard, musician and entrepreneur.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
All right. We also have in the house Mr. Robert Williams, first timer. He's a business owner.
What it do, though? What it do?
What it do? We also have Snyder Paul. I like that name, Snyder Paul.
Right.
He is a producer.
Hey, how y'all doing out here today?
All right. We forgot one person, Jay. My man, you wasn't here to come lean into the mic. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Joe from Boston.
All right, Joe. What's up, Joe? Good to have you here. So let's get right into this conversation, folks. All right. I'm going to go to one of the young men. My man right here.
How you doing, man?
Good. All right. Can you please tell me what the definition of a sugar daddy might be?
To me, a sugar daddy might be an older guy, got a lot of money, still got his hairline and shit.
Okay.
Beijing.
Okay.
About it, Beijing,
Okay.
and he likes to bag the young, whippersnappers out there,
Okay. How about
He killed himself.
Oh my goodness! He's a heathen! It's Sunday! Oh my goodness!
We call him a sponsor. It's a sponsor. It's not a sugar daddy. He's a sponsor.
A sponsor? Okay. How about my brother here? What would you think? Give me your definition of a sugar daddy.
An older man that's looking for a younger female to still experience the life that he had when he was younger.
That's now, in order to be a sugar daddy, do you have to have money?
Yeah. Oh, you
Oh yeah, you have to have money.
Come on, somebody.
Not necessarily.
Could have a whole lot of personality.
Companionship,
Okay.
You don't have to have money. I feel like you can just have just the personality. It's not always about money.
Okay.
Good resources.
Okay. Well, I thought I saw a few sugar daddies. Like in the article I wrote, a lot of sugar daddies that I've seen that I've known in the past, Jay, they have this word. They like to wear sweatsuits.
Right.
You know, I saw one at this. I went to this party. Saw one at this party the other day. He had on a red leather jumpsuit.
Right.
Now, would that be considered a sugar daddy? Anybody?
There's nothing sweet about that, honey. That's not sugar. That's
Not sugar. Nothing sweet about that. Remember, folks, talking to the mic. Young ladies, let's go to Kiki first on this one. Kiki,
Yes.
give me an accurate definition of a cougar.
A cougar would possibly be somebody who's about 7 years older than her prospect. 7 and greater. I would say 7 and greater. So I'm saying if you're like 35, he should be about 27-ish.
That's a cougar. The rest of y'all
That's a
agree?
date. That's a marriage. That's a couple. That's not a cougar. About 15, 20 years older.
That's not like
About 15.
that's like a
20.
regular situation.
Yes,
If I'm about 20, you gotta be about 60. That's a
I
cougar.
say about. Well, I guess he's looking.
I thought
that's a
the
puma, not a
I thought the
cougar.
cougar was just straight up an older lady that's just beautiful.
Hold on, what'd you say?
I thought a cougar was straight up just an older lady that's just beautiful.
That's it.
She's a cougar.
So,
Now, that's an
No,
attractive woman.
not the beautiful part. Not everybody. No.
no, not all the
Nah,
cougars
but
are
the
beautiful.
fact that she's up there in age and she's still beautiful makes her a cougar.
'Cause
Makes
I know
young
a
guys
few.
still want to bag her.
Saying she pop her teeth out, what you gonna be then? She pop her teeth out.
That's a real cougar. That's a real cougar.
Now, I was gonna say based on my experience with the cougars, you know, it's usually a woman that just wants you for sex. She wants your body. She just wants you. You know.
Okay. So, Tommy, you've had some experience in this.
Did I say that?
That's what you said. You said based on my experience.
Based on my experience.
Okay.
Well, this is the time to say the devil is alive. Because a cougar don't look for that.
So question. So I could have sworn this was all about the relationship in regards to, in order to, if the age difference, let's say the age, whatever that age gap is, doesn't the older person have to come to the table with something, or is it just the fact that they like dating older folks?
They don't always have to come with something. I know people that have dated older people and they didn't have anything. It was more so that the companionship, their personality. Sometimes just looking for stuff that they wasn't getting at home. So they don't always have to come with something.
Okay, Joe. What about yourself? What you think, Joe? You got to lean into that mic, Joe. You acting cool back there. You sugar daddy. Come on, lean into the mic. You got to lean into the mic.
I roll with the punches, man.
Okay. What does that mean, Joe? Come on, lean in here. Lean in and talk to me. What does that mean? The whole conversation about being on the spot, you know. So let's get this accurate here. We have to be accurate in this. What is the age difference now? Let's talk about the age difference, because someone said 8 years. I never thought that was considered. I thought it had to be a little bit higher. What is the age difference here, folks? What do you think?
About 15 years.
15 sound good.
About 15 years.
I would say that.
Does everyone agree with that?
No, I wouldn't say 15 years because of the maturity value. You know, they always say a woman matures a lot more than a male does. So it could be 15, it could be 20, it could be 10, depending on the mind you're dealing with in general.
So is a woman a cougar? Let's say the woman in a relationship has all the money and the man has nothing, but they're around the same age. Does that still make that person, that woman
That
a cougar?
sound like she his mama. His real mama. She about to change his diaper.
She's real mama.
That's a real mama. Okay. So another question, right? So does the age difference, is one age difference more inappropriate than another? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. So you have an 18-year-old let me finish. An 18-year-old dating a 35-year-old compared to a 60-year-old dating a 40-year-old. Does it make a difference in the age, or does it make a difference in what category you may fit in with that age?
It makes a difference with the maturity level.
It makes a difference with time too.
It makes a
The
difference
times,
when they
times
met.
are different.
Yeah.
If you got teen on the end of your age, I don't even want to talk to you.
Okay.
Like if your age says 19, oh, I'm about to be 20. Well, you hit me up when you hit that 20 mark. I don't.
Right.
Nothing teen is for me is appeasing at all.
Yeah, come
It's
into the
nothing.
mic.
It's nothing that would turn me on about somebody being 19.
But either one of those groups would you consider inappropriate?
I consider being with somebody who's 18 and 19. That's inappropriate. I'm 41.
Okay. So what about if they were 21 and maybe?
Boom.
Oh, 21. Long as they 21, they fine.
Legal.
I don't have to deal with your mama.
You can vote. You can go to the liquor store. You can do everything that I need you to do.
I can send you everywhere. You could come to the gambling. We can do it all together. No consent forms need to be filled out.
Okay. So what about when the ages get a little higher though? Go ahead, Tommy.
I was gonna say, no matter what the age separation is, I think anything after 30 is a go. When you're after 30, it could be 30 and 40, 30 and 50. At that point, you know, everything's a go at that point.
Sure.
You grown enough, man.
Yeah, you're grown enough. Okay. I got you on that one. But let me just ask a question too, because I think that we have certain there's different situations. Like, can there be challenges in that age differences?
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
talk about those challenges, folks.
All types of challenges. Being young and being with the person that's older. As you get older yourself, you're still growing, but that person's kind of already where they were when you met them because they've already grown up. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of challenges.
What about when you got to ice their knees?
Okay, you talking about my knees? You talking about my knees?
You got to ice their knees.
We gonna work it out. Whatever we need, we gonna get that back right.
See, I got a cutoff age. There's a cutoff age.
What's
for
the
me. Like,
cutoff
I will not
age?
talk to nobody over 38.
No one over 38.
Nobody over 38. And especially if he says to me, I got that high blood pressure.
Oh.
Please call 911.
You gotta have a heart to keep up with that, boy.
So hold on,
You better have a strong heart, boy.
Because I'm at 40 years of age, I don't want to have to waste my time to take care of someone and not get any of their youthfulness.
So you're asking me, you're bringing a point up here. I need to ask you that very specifically, Kiki. So can you be a cougar and date an older man?
No.
You can't.
I can't.
So
I don't find nothing. There's nothing attractive.
okay, so that doesn't fit in the category of cougar.
No, because next thing you know, it's like I only get to have about 3 to 5 years is what I'm looking at, and now I gotta take care of them.
Okay. Oh, so you ain't doing all that.
No, I don't want.
You want someone to take care of you.
No, it's not even that. I want somebody who takes care of me. That's not what I want.
Okay.
I want somebody who can run around with me. I'm
Okay.
really
Even with all these medical
I want somebody
advances.
who doesn't have any problems.
So in other words, it wouldn't work if I said, look, you can go to the club, but I'm going to take a nap.
See, no.
That don't work.
See, I don't club, so that would work for me.
Okay, all
So
right.
it depends on the individual, you know what I mean, and how they are. It depends on them.
Okay, Joe, you wanted to say something, Joe? Come on, Joe. Come on.
I think that it depends on how long you've been with that person.
Okay.
You could have started with that person young. He's getting older, you're getting older. Things happen. You still have a care for them. If you're a person that cares for a person and you're taking care of them, you're going to take care of them. Things may happen. Ailments may come on. That's your old man. That's your old man. You know, he might break a leg. He might break a hip. You contributed to that.
What about changing the diapers for the old man?
I ain't changing no diapers.
Oh, okay. You got your limits.
We can get somebody in to do that, though. I'll facilitate. I will facilitate.
Okay.
What if it reversed though?
What do you mean, Joe?
Like say if it reversed, say you worried about him taking care of you. What if he turn around and end up taking care of you? Then
That's why I had 8 kids. I'm not waiting for no man to take care of me.
but
I hear you.
You never know who you need.
We talking about relationships or
children, I've
cougars and
raised
sugar
them
daddy.
to be that.
That's right. Don't forget, y'all. Don't forget that. We talking about cougars and sugar daddies here. Now we not flipping the script. All right, we're gonna take some questions from Jay now from our folks from around the country. We got some strong opinions here today.
So, listen, while everybody's talking, you guys see me over here taking these notes. That's why these questions is coming in. We have Miss Amanda from Brooklyn, New York. She says, do you think having a sugar daddy or a cougar depends on an individual's personality? What do you guys think? This is open to anybody on the panel.
I mean, I said that at the beginning. I feel like, sometimes, especially when we're talking about money and all that, they don't necessarily have that to bring to the table, but they may have a hell of a personality, and there's no problem with that. People come together, jokes, conversation, rule the nation. It can happen. It can go that way, and that could be what that OG or what that old lady is giving to that person.
You think it's control, though? You think they want control? You think it's a control factor?
Control.
Right?
I'm gonna say, cougars can tend to get a lot clingy.
Yeah.
They can get real clingy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, us as, younger people, we always on the go. We always like to do things. You know what I mean? We're at this club or we doing this. We're trying to build still. Like, I'm a homeowner, so you're always trying to do something and build. But the older women get my experiences, especially when you lay the pipe. That's all they want, That's all they want, and it's like
be careful, Tommy. Be careful.
It'll get to the point. It'll literally. I know. It'll literally get to the point where it's like, I don't care if you got a girl.
I need some heavy lifting.
I don't care.
I need some trash taken out.
Personally, I never.
You can wash them dishes and vacuum that floor too, bro.
I would totally do it,
Ain't
but
nothing wrong with
unfortunately, I haven't had to do that. I just had to do one thing. That's all they want.
Okay, so folks, just remember, no profanity on this show, y'all. That was the borderline, Tommy. All right, just remember, no profanity, Jay.
Now here we go. We got Calvin from Detroit, Michigan, and he asks, are sugar daddies and cougars relationships likely to work out or end in failure?
Good question.
Oh.
I've seen some successful situations play out. I actually know a married couple, and they got a gap, and I love what they have. And it worked out pretty well. Good 19-year span between the two.
So in other words, there are some very successful love relationships for sugar daddies and cougars, and I'm not talking about sugar daddies and cougars in a sense. I'm talking about the age gap now.
Right.
Can it work? Will it continue? Anybody?
I've seen it happen.
I agree. I just look at it as it's more of a percentage thing. It's not impossible, but it's out there. It can happen. So it's not out the realm of impossible. So
it's very possible, and I speak that for myself. I've been married for 16 years, and there's a 28
Hey,
years
now.
between me and my husband.
There we go.
I was waiting for you to say something, Shabella. I was waiting because I'm around, and she got
best friend.
She got two beautiful children, and it's just
It's a struggle though, but you know what? We here. We do what we do.
Okay, because I don't want your husband being mad that I put you on the show later. All right, but two beautiful children. I see it work. It was something when I wanted to be on the show if she could talk about that, but it's a beautiful relationship to see. Absolutely.
All right, and we got Stacy from Boston. She says, do dating an experienced woman, this is for the fellas, do dating an experienced woman makes a young man feel great? Ooh, that's a good question.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think so too.
Makes us feel amazing.
Right.
Makes us feel.
Was that for me? Was that for me? Okay.
You gotta ice your knees.
Every day, twice a day.
If I may, just to say to Stacy, ladies are more mature than us.
Right.
It was addressed earlier. So when you get an older lady, holding you down, and she feel like you kind of slightly in her rankings, not saying fully, it's an amazing feeling.
That's a validation right there.
It's
That's
a validation.
How old though? How old?
I gotta agree.
How old? Is she like 60? She like, no, turn the feeling.
If she's 60 and she popping, man, she popping, man.
Just because a woman take care of you and they got more maturity doesn't mean that woman is classified for you. Every man is about who you are as a person. It's not just about you having maturity. It's about how you carry yourself and your own demeanor.
There you go. Good answer. Good
Absolutely.
answer.
Absolutely.
Anybody else want to respond? Okay. Go ahead, Jay. You got another one?
Here we go. We got, can a sugar daddy be younger than you? All right. Can a sugar daddy be younger than you?
Yes.
And this is actually from Amanda
Yes.
from Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, it's a possibility.
So how does that work? So he definitely has to have some type of resources in order to do so.
Yeah, that's because sugar daddies, they classify as somebody who takes care of you.
Okay.
Can I just say?
Somebody older.
Listen, my goal, I want to be a sugar daddy. I can't wait to be a sugar daddy.
Okay.
That is the goal. Why not? You got to work hard to be qualified as a sugar daddy.
Okay, but I got a question to Reverend Wall.
Oh!
Okay. Before we go to our sponsors, I got to ask Reverend Wall this question. Can a pastor be a sugar daddy, Reverend? Can a pastor be a sugar daddy? Now, I'm not saying you, because your wife, you married. I'm just saying, in your experience, are there any sugar daddy pimps out there on Sunday doing the ha-ha?
Was that what you did on the stage? So I've been married for 32 years. I'm 70 years old. I know of a number of pastors who are unbelievable sugar daddies.
Do they wear leather jumpsuits?
No, they're incognito.
There you go. Okay, so it does happen. Next, we're going to hear from one of our executive producers, Cheryl Spence, and everybody on the panel. I'm going to put the spotlight on her because she can never get through our sponsors without making a mistake. Let's see if she can do it today.
All right, our local sponsors, Urbanica Building Design, Eddie Jenkins Law, Callaway Graphics, Sweet Embers Bakery, J. Rockwell Sound Studio, Shun's Kitchen, Janie Construction, Leo Papil, and George Kramer, some entrepreneurs and business owners. Suya Joint in Roxbury, Mass. And I have to shout out to Jerry at Leading Ladies, my hairstyle.
All right.
Oh, she got through it.
She's not done.
Our national sponsors, Better Belly out of Chicago, Illinois. The Shop, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Apon Concepts Productions in Miami, Florida. And Campaign Industries out of Chicago.
Oh, she made it. Give her a round of applause. Oh, my goodness. Sugar. Ain't we something? So, Fred, let's get back to the questions, all right? How can you, if you're out somewhere, how do you identify a sugar daddy or a cougar? How do you identify them? Do they have an alert sign up? How do you identify
an
them?
outfit.
Talk to me, tell me.
It's all in the outfit. Usually a sugar mama tends to have, like, you know, that Michael Kors outfit going on. You know.
In the mic, Tommy.
Something along the lines of that. You know, they usually got they usually taking care of themselves. You know, they're older women that tend to take care of themselves. Their hair's done real nice. You know, they still keeping up with the, you know what I mean, the young girls. You can always tell when you see an older woman that's taking care of herself like a young girl.
Okay.
And I mean that in a good way. You know?
What do you think? How can you identify with the sugar daddies or cougars out there? Like, you and your girls just hanging out at the club. You going out just to talk trash about other people. And you said, we're going to talk trash about sugar daddies and cougars. How do you identify them?
I usually identify them as the older guys that you see in the club with the young people. Like, why are you in here with them?
Do they smell like Vicks?
Smell like Bengay. Asper cream, no smell.
What about all the young boys that go to slaves? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
So if the young boys at slaves and you got the older women there, who's what? Is there sugar daddies or
Daddies and cougars is all
So slaves is definitely like cougar land.
Oh, cougar land.
There's definitely slaves is cougar land. And you can always tell a cougar because
Talk to me.
the older cougars, because I don't like to label myself as a cougar, but the older ones, they have a certain type of swag with them.
What
and
you
they
mean?
run usually with like a flock of friends, but they're a flock of friends who've been running around since like the 90s.
Okay.
Same old chicks. They got the saggy face, and they usually try to have that lingo. They mess up on the trending words. Like, how you doing there? When they hit you with this, how you doing, sugar? As soon as she hit you with that, you know.
She's outdated.
But are we talking about looks? Like, as far as the sugar daddies, man, back in the day, they used to have curly hair.
Yes.
I mean,
All the jewelry.
They had the chest hair. They always got to have a chain on.
Chest hair right here.
Chest hair. So you're not a sugar daddy unless you got hair on your chest.
You need the curls, though.
Okay, so Jay, if you don't have hair, you got to get some fake hair to weave to put on your chest.
Get that mullet going. Get you a mullet.
I'll definitely say to add on what Kiki said, you got to say the verbiage. You know what I mean?
The verbiage.
You know what I mean? The words that they using.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
Just
so
like she said, sugar.
On another tip here, and that shows that I'm a sugar daddy. I use the word tip. We don't use that word anymore. Should they be considered predators? You know, are they predators if they are going after this younger generation? And I'm going to hit you with another question after that too. Are they considered predators?
Yeah, they're predators.
Let's go.
They're looking after somebody that tend to look weak or have a weak stature of life. So they're trying to upgrade them. They're trying to build them up. Change their way.
But do sugar daddies or cougars, and we're talking about both sense of age and the title we're using, is it about control? Is it about, and you said build them up, are they breaking them down as well to keep them in that environment?
The way they call it's like a sense of direction. That person that they get with seems like they're lost, so they want to guide them in a better way to live.
I like that. Someone else?
I also think partially it's control too. Like a lot of I've dated women who's my age, and like some of them that like younger men, and then when they realized my maturity level was on their level or even above, they couldn't hang with that, and they're like, oh, I'm not used to it.
Right.
I'm a level of maturity. That's why they aim for somebody younger.
They start calling you Thomas.
You know?
Thomas.
Tommy.
I gotta disagree with that one.
And I still say that we're talking about, we established the age as far as 21 and older. So I can't say that I would be necessary if I was a 21-year-old male or female and someone that was 50 or 60. You can't prey upon me. Yeah. I'm an adult. I got some train of thought. It's the same thing about how I was raised. Old folks raised me straight like that. So I'm already there.
But you can't keep attacking weak-minded people.
But the real thing is, I think everybody's saying it as if the cougar or the sugar daddy's always approaching these people. Sometimes it be younger folk approaching them too.
Right.
So let's not get that. So that's why I don't want to say
especially young boys trying
So I understand what you all are saying. So how many folks on this panel have children?
I got two.
How would you feel about a sugar daddy being with your daughter? How would you feel about that? How would you feel about your daughter's 19, 20, 21, and she's dating someone 50 years old that's,
50.
you know, I'm just saying, how would you feel about it?
Like
So
30,
speaking from my own personal experience, so I have a 24-year-old and I have a 20-year-old daughter. My 20-year-old daughter just recently came to me and said, Mommy, I want to kick it with you. I don't like younger guys. I like them older. Okay, so how much older? How much older? She's like, well, the guy I find attractive is like 37. Now she's 20, but this is the difference. My daughter has everything. She owns her car, her own stuff, everything together. So her maturity level, anybody she deal with is I know how she handles herself. I'm not worried.
Do you think, though, you figure the older you get, the more mature you get about certain circumstances, relationships. Do you think he could take that independence away from her?
Nope.
By being that much more mature, and will she miss out on certain things on life by dating someone older? And I guess it all depends on that individual.
No, I don't think she will, because I more or less rely on what I've taught her. So I feel strong and confident in the seeds that I've planted inside of her.
Sure.
So she's her own woman. She's established because she has her own of everything. I don't worry because they usually are able to control somebody who's in a position who's not like that.
Sure.
So he's not going to be able to just control her mind. She's too strong-willed. Strong.
I like that, black woman. I like to hear that. What other men on
the
this
sugar
panel?
daddy's broke. If the sugar daddy got some money, you be like, oh, okay. Yeah. But if he ain't got no money, you're like,
Just somebody that's a daddy.
Well, we also determined based on what some folks have said that it's not necessarily about the money. So some of the men on this panel, how do you feel about your daughters dating someone, and I'm not going to say 10 years, I'm thinking 15, 20 years older. Is that a problem for you? Would you put your daughters, the gentleman that she wants to date, through more of a rigorous interrogation, which we all do, than you would somebody that was 5 years older than her?
Yeah, that's going to happen. That's definitely going to happen. I got two daughters right now. They're only 9 and 10. But when they get to that level of life, that man that they meet is going to have to go through me first to get any approval of where he may want to take them, be with them, or anything like that. So, yeah, he will have a problem.
And let me say one thing about this show, folks. You're hearing from some. This is why we want certain types of people on it. We have strong folks that are giving you concepts in how things should happen out here in our community. Strong black men, strong black women, strong people, period, that are making sure we do the things that we're doing in the community to take care of our own. And that's what this show is about.
We call it community star paneling.
Community star power. Trevetta, let me just ask you, what was it like? I can still remember meeting you for the very first time.
And I can remember we were at the South End, what do they call the Jazz Festival? Mm-hmm. And you were there, and Joe said to me, he introduced you. And I was like, wow, she's young. He didn't tell me at first how young you were, but you handled yourself well. You handled yourself well.
The way I was brought up, like Kiana explained, she instilled value in her daughter already, and that's how both my parents were. Of course, my father would, like he said, he was a little leery about the situation, but at the time I'm grown. I had my own thing going on. I had my own car, you know what I mean? I had a job. So I wasn't your average 21-year-old, you know what I mean? And me and him, we was compatible. I mean, it took me a while to really, because I've never been with anybody that older, you know what I mean? But we meshed and we good and we here today.
Yeah. And I must say,
you've seen us through the 16 years of marriage.
Absolutely. 16, really?
Yeah. No. Well, no. Yeah. Well, we've been together 16 years. Well, we married 13 years in May. So 16 years together, period.
Wow. 2 beautiful children. Yeah. And so, in other words, it does work, folks. As we sit here and we joke and we have fun with it, it can work. Any other men that have
challenges, though, I'm gonna tell you that there's definitely challenges.
Ooh, she went back to that question. Challenges. she jumped right back in. It's challenging. It ain't all peachy cream. It ain't easy. There are challenges.
But I feel like even going back about like going out and being youthful, he's more youthful than I am, really. Yeah. Okay. Seriously, like
so personalities can have to blend with this as well.
Exactly. Okay. He likes to have a good time.
So. Sure. So let me just ask another. Go ahead, Tom. You want to say something?
I just want to flip it real quick. Like, let's say, all right, like you said, Kiki, you were saying how you got a kid that's 24, right? 24, 21. You also said you're willing to date somebody that's 21. Mm-hmm. So what happens when you bring somebody home that's 21, 23?
Perfect.
And your daughter's right there. How does your daughter feel?
Perfect. So I date somebody who's 23, and I've been with him since he's 21. That's the perfect example. At first, I was hiding it for a while. And it bothered me. It bothered me more than it probably bothered anybody else. And I got to a place where his maturity is actually more than my ex-husband, more than any man that I've ever been with. And that was the shocker for me, that this is a 21-year-old. So make a long story short, I've been with him now for the last 2 years. My daughters know him. My daughter that I was just telling you about, Mommy, you're happy. You're living for you. You're not living for us no more.
I hope everybody can see Kiki on Facebook Live, because, in my opinion, she is a handful. Right. She is no joke to deal with, so he better be mature. She's grabbing the mic like the James Brown show. Give me that mic and I'll tell you how it is. I can tell she is a handful.
I judgment.
I'm scared for the fellas out there. You better be careful when you're not going Kiki.
I've had people talk about me. I have people tell stories in regards.
Look how she's on the mic.
I've been called a pedophile because of this. Okay. Literally, like it's.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you all, and I'm going to go back to does someone want to say something? Does someone? I'm going to just go down to another level. Could this also be considered tricking? Is this tricking when you dating somebody so much younger?
Well, they used to say pimping ain't dead, hoes just scared, and
explain that one to me. I didn't get that one. That was over my head.
Pimping ain't dead, hoes just scared.
H-bomb. Don't talk about H-bombs.
You used the word prostitutes and stuff. You said that's kind of close to the.
Oh,
it's close.
Wow.
It's close, yeah. Well, but tell me what you mean by that.
Well, it's just that it all depends upon what your comfort zone is. How you feel about the situation. If you life experiences give you strength. Put your armor on.
Sure.
You know where you at. You know what you're doing. You know what you're dealing with. Don't step into the fire if you ain't ready to get burned.
Sure.
So you have to know those things, and you have to be ready to do those things. And if something occurs that isn't to your liking or to their liking, better be ready to deal with what's going to happen.
Okay.
Sometimes fire does burn.
Sure. And folks, just tell me, is that what we call tricking? Is that gaming?
No.
When they talking to the mic, please.
No, definitely not. No.
I mean, T.I. said it ain't tricking if you got it.
Yeah, nah. Tricking is like you going above and beyond. You trying to do it. You spending money out of pocket. You spending your rent money trying to keep shorty happy. You know what I mean? You doing too much. That's tricking. When you get to the point where you're forcing it. I mean, a player's never cheap. You know what I mean? You still, if you're a player, you can't be cheap either. Right. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be able to feed a chick if you're with her. You know what I mean? If you want to give her a gift, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you're coming out here, if you asking your other baby mom for money to go spend on the other chick you just met, that's tricking.
Pay what you weigh.
That's why it ain't tricking if you got it.
You know.
It's disgusting.
Someone else has something to say? But let's take it from another level. Let's say I have big paper for one reason or another, and I'm spending. Is he spending to keep her there, or is he spending?
Depends how you got her.
It may make you happy to do for others.
There you go.
Period. Point blank. If, like I said earlier, if you're a caregiver and you there and you care, you automatically do things. Especially if you're in services. You giving services. You making sure folks is all right. So it's no problem with that. That makes me feel good to be wanted and to be needed.
So let me just reverse the question now, because it always seems like, and I'm going to say this maybe from a father's perspective, men don't feel the same way about their sons and their daughters when it involves having sexual relationships. Sex or relationships, I'm saying. So how do you feel then if your son is young and he's dating a cougar?
That's what I'm talking about.
I have to give homeboy a pat on the back.
Now listen to that. You give him a pat on the back.
Go ahead and take that. We're going to have this shot, son.
Who's that?
That's what I would do. Same whole thing.
Ask if she got sisters.
When it comes to males on that aspect, because as y'all said earlier, women are more mature and they brought up differently. Men, we'll look at our son like, congratulations, you learned that from your father, this and that. We'll take the credit for what he has done in his life in that aspect of a woman.
Is that good or bad, black men? Is that good or bad? No, I'm being serious now.
I feel it's just not men who do that. I've seen mothers who do that to their boys too. Okay. It's like they put him in that situation. Oh yeah, look at him, he macking that boy only 3 years old. So you setting him up for that idea. Like you gotta slay everything.
Are we creating an environment for strong black males if we're patting them on the back for doing that type of situation? Because they're not really learning the responsibility of how to. Because I'm old-fashioned. I'm old-head. I'm old-fashioned. I want to take care of my woman. I want us to work together towards things. I want us to be equals. I have an education, so I pretty much try to look for women that are in that same educational background. Not necessarily, but I want to be around a smart woman that can teach me some things. And I'm not talking about sexually. I like that too, though. But I'm just talking about.
You gotta be able to have a conversation.
But I'm also talking about, we could travel together. I'm in that situation now. So talk to me. Do we and in the black community right now, with all the things we have going on with young black men, we definitely need to be training our young men better. We need to be teaching them better, educating them better, and that comes from both the man and the woman. How do we feel about our young men dating an older woman?
I feel like with my son, he's already going to be set up to, whoever he dates, whether they're older or younger, he's already going to have the establishment that he's already going to be taking care of himself. So he's not going to need for anything. If the whole thing about being a sugar mother, if he needs one or whatever, he's never going to need that. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said something, Trevetta, because one thing about your son, he's around a lot of strong black men and women consistently. That he's getting a strong sense of the black community. He's not to mention your husband has him involved in every sport and activity.
Since he was 4
everything, and I think about this when I think about this age gap. What are we teaching our younger folks?
But you think about it too, right? If you're a man, right, you don't want if you're a real man, like, you don't want no woman really taking care of you.
Some men.
I'm talking about if you're a real man. If you're a real man, you don't want, you want to be able to be the breadwinner. You know what I mean? So it's like, it depends on like your mindset. If your mindset is like weak and you want to be like, oh, I got to fall back on such and such. But if you got out here getting it, doesn't matter. Then you're like, I don't need your money. I'm going to do this, whatever. You know what I mean? It's good for you to come along. You should come along, but, I don't really need you.
Kiki, what about your sons? How do you feel about them dating older women?
I have 5 boys, and my oldest is 19, and he's had older females.
How old?
26, I want to say. He was about 17.
But just try to envision him dating someone 10 or 15 years older than that. How would you feel?
I wouldn't feel no kind of way because it's this at this point, the age he's going to do what he wants to do. So
Right.
I feel as though if you go through the experience, we all have to experience things in life. So I can't tell my son about my experience, or his father can't tell him about his experience, and he genuinely feel it unless he's been through it. So he has to experience that part of life on his own, so he knows, is this what I really want? Is this what it, Because I teach him to take care of self.
Sure.
Right.
And do our children teach their kids what we've taught them? So if I'm comfortable with my son being taken care of by a cougar, does that mean he's going to teach his son the same thing?
I'm not comfortable with that though.
I don't think that.
I'm not. I would never be comfortable. I would never be comfortable with any of my children being taken care of by anybody.
Right.
And because they come from a woman, such as myself, they see. So the seeds, like I said, the seeds that I planted, the harvest is way different from anybody else. I planted certain different seeds in my kids for them to, be independent, to be driven, to be determined, and get it done.
There you go, Kiki. I like that. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yo, but since when is being taken care of a bad thing? It doesn't mean you don't take care of yourself. You know what I mean? You don't handle your business. You don't have a maturity level yourself. But ain't nothing wrong with letting somebody, take care of you too. I mean,
I know for myself, I can't be taken care of.
Yeah, because that's when the control will come in.
Yeah, I gotta be out there. I gotta get mine.
You get
I gotta
yours.
contribute.
No, I'm saying you get yours. That's not what I'm saying. You out there, you still hustle and bustle the way you do, but then you just so happen to have a woman who comes along who might be a little more financially stable than you are, and is willing to take care of you. Are you supposed to feel guilty?
You know what? I was inaccurate in what I say too. My woman takes care of me.
She iced the means.
I take care of her as well.
Who take care of you?
We take care of each other.
But you're talking about a wife, and you're talking about cougars and sugar daddies.
Sure.
Those are two different entities.
Absolutely.
We can never
Absolutely.
ever put those two together because it's just you cannot. You just can't.
Absolutely. Jay, let's hear some questions from around the country.
I would say, Lady G take care of you by icing them knees. So, my knees.
They need it sometime.
Them old basketball knees.
You tell it.
We have Mona from Philadelphia, and she asks, how much should a sugar daddy pay? How much?
What is he paying for?
I mean, how much?
Pay like you weigh.
So should the sugar daddy, let's say, he has his own place, she has hers. What should the sugar daddy pay to contribute to her lifestyle?
I was brought up in Boston, but I was brought up in the South rurally. A lot of young women that I grew up with had sugar daddies.
That's right.
When their final years of high school, who's paying for that cap and gown? Who's putting that gas in your car? Who's getting your groceries for your little apartment? These are things that I seen that when I learned the term of what a sugar daddy was. It was that older man that came in and took care of certain things. Not to say that she didn't have a job, not to say that she didn't have her own money, she had her own car. He might be the co-signer. That's why I call him a sponsor.
Right.
It's no different than when you see these ladies that are in college and they become strippers and they get their money that way. That sugar daddy takes care of them and supports them in other ways, and that could be it can be materialistic wise and it can be money wise, but that dollar amount can add up. So you can't put no number to it. Exactly. You can't. He want to buy you a car, you're gonna get your car because you need to get to school. You're not gonna say no. He want to keep your dad. If he's just that person, listen. We done picked him up from work and took him to cash their check. You get your money off the top. I was brought up like that. Furniture in your house and all.
Preach on, baby, preach on.
Who's paying that insurance on your car? You paying the car? No, guess who got your insurance? That old man. Sure. It goes like that. So there's no dollar amount that you can put to it. It's what you need at the time and what he may see that you may need at the time. He's gonna offset some of them bills for you. That's right. He's gonna pay that light bill for you, and you pay the cable. Or he might pay every bill, but you pay your rent. My mama always told me pay your own rent. So I always paid my own rent. That don't mean I necessarily didn't get the light bill from somewhere else. That didn't necessarily mean that I didn't go get my groceries from somewhere else. So that there's no number to that. That's just what it is.
Okay.
And I feel like that's.
I hope y'all heard her. I hope you heard that, because she wasn't playing. The vein was popping out in the middle of her forehead when she was saying that. Don't you better?
Now, just to like go. And that's what you call a sugar daddy. In my situation where there is an age difference, Like at the beginning, Joseph, he always wanted to, you know, take me around the world and do this and do that. But I felt like it was too soon. And if I would have did all those things that he wanted me to do as far as fly this way, you ain't got to pack no bag, just come. I feel like we would not be together today because my intentions was totally different. I wasn't looking for nobody to, you know, fly me across the world without no bags being packed and you taking me shopping. It was real. It was real genuine.
But as a man, don't you want to do that for your girl? What?
Yeah, but if I only known you for like 2 months, I'm not gonna fly nowhere.
He's in love. He's in love, so he's like, you know, oh man, I'm feeling you. Like, you know,
I'm not that type of person.
No, I'm not saying that you're that type of person.
No, I know some people.
But listen, right? If your man is in love with you and he's like, you know what, yo, I wanna take you to Rome. No bags packed.
But we wasn't even at the in love stage. This was like 3 months in.
And that's fine if he done put some groceries in the refrigerator and the light bill is paid and he done help do the things that I need to do to make it to survive. Yes, but we can take that plane money and put that on my house note.
Right.
Something like that.
Next question, folks, is does anybody know what does a sugar baby do?
A sugar baby.
A sugar baby.
Sugar baby has to be somebody who's young throwing it out. That's
So you got to speak into the mic.
Is a sugar baby somebody who's young throwing out those ducats?
You look like you trying to find out with the way you're looking right now.
I want to ask. I'm like, are they
Don't judge me.
Are they saying a sugar baby is like
a sugar
a baby out of a scenario? Of a sugar
Hashtag
daddy?
me on that one.
But once again, I'm not changing no diapers.
Thank you. No, I think the sugar babies.
Speak into the mic. Speak into the
I think
mic.
the sugar babies is the recipient.
I
The
think you're
recipient
right.
of the lavish gifting, right?
Right.
So yeah, the sugar baby. The sugar baby gives is there. Listen, man.
That's sweet and low. That ain't no sugar baby.
Come on, if there's a younger person,
That's the younger person is getting it, right? The young man is getting it with the. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, if it's a younger person,
He's obviously giving something for the woman to keep her
Is it
around.
a place to sign up for this though? Just
what I'm saying?
just a question for a friend.
And we have one last question, and that is actually coming from Dawn, Atlanta. ATL, what up?
ATL.
Why is it in our country that we care about who someone is dating?
Right.
Well,
Because I think there's something called laws.
Right.
Laws. and daddies with shotguns that just don't appreciate it.
Hello.
We got a lot of R. Shelleys and Kellys walking around.
You know, talk to us, panelists. What's the difference? What is it? Should there be any consideration around age?
Yes, legal.
I mean, okay, if they're legal, but should we have a discussion if they're 21 and dating someone 20 years older?
No.
It's none of your business. Each one.
except your parents.
It's for yourself. It's for you. You know what we got to answer to. You know what I mean? And that's when it comes down to.
Right.
It's about your beliefs and your morals and what you want. Mind your business. You know what I'm saying? How you worrying about what I'm doing when you got things to do? If you got things to do, you will not be worried about who behind closed doors, how and what I do. Period.
There needs to be some type of control in that, because R. Kelly just went to jail for the same thing. Mind your business is what you just said, but he went to jail for it. Somebody minded his.
And he's out now.
No, and that's,
Well, he was messing around.
and let's
He
be,
was doing that for
let's
years.
be clear. Let's be clear.
So R. Kelly was a sugar daddy at that time, and now we agreeing on sugar daddies and sugar babies.
But
and
we put an
cougars and
age
all
on that. We put an age on that. These were young. These were people. You're talking about young.
I feel the
young
outside
children.
noise
That's different.
definitely is not needed, but I feel family members can chime in, not like a cousin or something, but like again, mothers and fathers,
Yeah.
they can have an opinion or at least have a discussion. But outside noise, cut that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do me if you ain't doing mine.
So, question. So, you're with a sugar daddy or you're with a cougar. Family members, your mother, your father, brother, sister, something happens. Are sugar daddies expected to take care of them as well?
Like a grandpa? Like,
You know, so sugar daddies date the woman. Sugar daddies date the woman.
I doubt it.
The woman's mother gets sick or gets evicted. Needs someone to stay. Is the sugar daddy expected to take
He's
care of
already playing his
That's
role.
sugar daddy
He's
discretion.
taking care of her.
That's all sugar daddy
He's
discretion.
taking care of her. He's playing his role.
Sugar daddy
He's already
discussion.
playing his role.
That's sugar daddy discretion. I like
Sugar
He
daddy
got no
discussion.
time for no extra. He's playing his role already. If he's supporting the person that he's sugaring up, that's who's getting that sugar. They'll be, they should be supported. And once he's supporting them or she's supporting him, then he's gonna have to work on the other stuff on the outside. What's going on between them is between them. Those two people, the outside has nothing to do with that.
Based on relationships,
Just keep them happy so that they can be brave enough to face what they gotta face.
Sure. So based on what you've seen, based on what you've seen or what you've heard today, is a sugar daddy relationship or the cougar relationship really supposed to stay between those two? There should be no children involved in this. We shouldn't be having any babies. It's supposed to be just you and I doing our thing. And does it take a turn when a child does come out of this relationship?
We got an example
That's the
right
whole
here.
point.
We have a prime example.
That's part of the reason why. That's part of the reason why younger men date older women is because we know, we can do what we want, and then the likelihood of you getting pregnant is less. Than
older men dating younger women.
Yeah.
No, that's a statistic. That's a statistic. That is.
I don't know where that comes from.
Yo, anytime you're dating a woman that's 40 something, 45.
That's older.
Older. They're not thinking about no kids.
You're talking about cougars.
Yeah, talking about cougars.
The devil is a liar. That is not true.
No. Nobody said you can't.
My aunt 45 and had a baby.
Nobody said you can't get pregnant, but the likelihood.
Say that again,
The
Kiki.
likelihood with me, all you gotta do is sprinkle water. It's just done. It's done.
No, yeah.
And I'm a Cape Verdean woman. We definitely go a long time have insurance.
I know.
Kiki
I know
said, "Don't mess around. Don't
My
mess
son
around."
Cape Verdean. I know how to go.
You breathe on Kiki, you in trouble.
Hey,
You in
listen.
trouble.
That plug game better be strong.
Announced, like y'all doing y'all thing, and it just happened. What do y'all do?
Speaking to the mic, Mike.
I'm assuming the question is just if it just happened. See, she just spoke up and said she was married, so that seemed like a more planned thing. So what happens
No, it
when
wasn't planned, but it happened.
Some unplanned happens? What we doing here? You know what I mean?
It's the same scenario in any given scenario like that. If no matter what the age is, whether y'all both 15, whether y'all both 45, whether one's 30, with another person's 60, that situation's the same. That's the two individuals.
So just so I can give everybody an opportunity to say something to wrap up, I just want to say thank you for coming on today. And I wanted to say that this discussion, it took a lot of different turns. If it was a conventional situation, for me and my children, my family, I like it to be around the same age group so they could grow together. But I think it's an individual's decision. I think whatever makes that person feel comfortable, and let's be honest, a lot of women have not had an opportunity to run into good men in their own age group. So at times when they start to, it's something now, when I know folks that they want to meet someone good, I don't have many folks that I can introduce them to. It makes it tough. It makes it tough, And I think it all depends on, especially when you're talking about certain communities, about men. Come on, let's get ourselves together. Let's start thinking about doing the right thing by women. Let's do the right thing by our children. It can be difficult, but I've seen it work. My boy Joe Poindexter and Trevetta Poindexter, they have a great marriage. I see they have beautiful children, and she was willing to accept his previous children. And I've seen it work, and it works well. So, folks, let's start with my man right here. What would you like to say to closing out for our topic around sugar daddies and cougars?
Okay, what I would say would be like, with the sugar daddies and cougars, it's really not an aspect of who you are. It's about how you feel about each other and what you go through in life that's going to bring y'all together. My definition that I seen was that sugar daddies and cougars had no strings attached. There was never nothing at the end that made a relationship, because you will not be the only sugar baby receiving from a sugar daddy or a cougar in that aspect of that term.
My man. Trevetta?
I feel like being with an older person, you're going to learn just as much as they're going to learn from you. So it'll all work out. You just got to keep the faith in.
There you go. We didn't talk about that at all, about faith until I had to slip over and ask the pastor, this sugar daddy pastor. I forgot to ask about faith there. Ooh, excuse me, my brother.
I want to say everybody's different. Everybody has their choices. Everybody has their own experiences. So I just stay out of people's business and I leave it up to them. But, I don't have any way about it. Cougars or sugar daddies. Love is love, man.
Everybody's looking for something different, is what he's saying. Kiki. No, I'm going to say Kiki for last. Because she had the most to say. You're up next.
I just say know your worth. Know what you want and stay strong in your convictions. And whatever decisions you make, you own them. And speak your truth and live your truth.
In other words, if they're good people, that's all they are is good people.
All right? All day.
There you go.
Simple, just do what makes you happy. Don't worry about what nobody else says. It's all about how you feel with the other person.
You know, now that you said that to this, you know, I always wondered too, do you get a lot of snide comments from people when you're out, you know, and like, what is that, his mother? Is that his, you know,
Well, speaking from knowing someone who was dating a cougar, that was my initial reaction. But then when I turned around and thought about it, I was like, I can't judge her because if I know her experiences of dating people that was her age. So if that's who makes her happy, who am I to judge?
There you go. You just want your girl to be happy. Tommy, what you got for me, brother? Come to the mic.
I think like my man was saying earlier, you know, it was my idea of what the cougar relationship was. There was really no strings attached. It was all in good fun. You know, there's nothing specific about it. Like if I decide to give my sugar mama something because it's her birthday, it's okay. If my sugar mama want to give me something, it's okay. But what we're doing in the time we're doing it is out of pure happiness, and we're having a good time with each other.
So in other words, what we've learned today, it's not all about control. It's sometimes it does work, and there is happiness in that relationship that can grow to do other things. My man in the back.
Hey, I'll leave everybody with this. If you have a moment, just always reflect on your decisions, you know?
Yeah, I like that. Kiki, what you got for us to close it out, Kiki? Because you've been full of a lot of spirit today. Oh, my goodness. I enjoyed listening to you. Go ahead, Kiki. What you got for it? She actually grabbing that mic. This is her microphone. She taking that mic home with her. Drop that mic when you leave. Drop that mic.
No, I really don't have much to say. It's whatever makes anybody happy. I'm not a judging person. Nobody should be judging anyone because when it comes down to judgment, we only have one person that we have to answer to, and I think everybody in this whole room knows who that is.
There you go.
So whatever your choice is, just make sure it's lawful. You can do it.
Sure.
And everything else, love is love. Like
was that person you talking about, James Brown? Was that? I'm sorry. Hey, I want to thank everybody for being here today. And we know that person is Devin. Reverend Waller, Debbie, no, you better not say it. We talking about God. Jay, take us out, baby.
Hey, I want to leave you guys with a quote. My thing is that I don't give no person that much power over my path that I'm walking. Not one person can make or break what I'm doing except me or God, and that's the late great Nipsey Hussle. May you rest in peace, black man. Keep rocking, folks. You already know what we about to do. 2019.